Let's sneak up on the frogs. There's a few on the side. Oh, one jumped. Oh, look at them. Look at that guy checking me out. And that guy on the side there. Yep, that one jumped. That one jumped. Look at this guy. Super curious. The rest of them are hiding. Who knows where? I've already fed the fish. Let's go see if any frogs are up here. I don't see any. Maybe it's too cold now. Up here. Let me stay down there. Soon the leaves are going to fall and I'm going to have to clean the pond out. Gotta think about getting the fish tank set up for the winter and evicting our frogs. This is a couple-day affair. Usually I gotta use my little scoop and fish net. There's usually baby fish in here that I try to save. I did spot some. There's the fish down there. There's a little frog nestling through. Oh, he left before I could focus. But this one's coming closer. Someone's biting me on my leg. This one's a little tacky guy. But yeah, I gotta prepare for winter. I think I can wait until mid-October to finish the job. So I got a bit of time. And frogs can enjoy their pond. Oh, there's some on the sides here. Ow, someone's biting me again. Get lost. Take off, you hosers. I saw on the way home from Toronto, there was this guy on the side of the road that has a chainsaw carving business, and I've always wanted to stop, and finally my husband let us stop, and he was carving a giant Sasquatch. Don't you think a Sasquatch hidden in the woods right there off to the side would be funny if I ever had visitors? There used to be a wooden windmill here that my neighbors, when they owned the house, built, because they're Dutch. Well, the husband is, but it fell apart, so I had to remove it. So I just thought it would be cool to have another sculpture back there. So one day, I'm going to find out how much it would cost for I'd like a Squatch. He had a T-Rex once, and it was so cool. But I don't know. A Bigfoot? I think that would be perfect. I mean, I live near the forest. There's creatures in here. I've heard weird shit, man. Years and years ago, when I was sitting in the screen porch, and before I had a digital device thing to record, and of course my husband is never home when this weird stuff happens, I heard the most otherworldly sound coming from the forest in that direction. Whatever it was big. It sounded like it was coming from more than a kilometer away. And it sounded like Halloween-y sounds, like a cross between a woman screaming and an animal, like a witch screaming. It was freaky. And I don't lock my doors here, only occasionally. And I sure lock my doors, because I did not know what that was. I'm not usually a scaredy cat of these things, but holy Christ on a cracker. I don't know what that was. I suspect maybe it was a cougar, but apparently, according to the Ministry of Ontario, whatever website, they don't exist in this area, although I have had reports from an old workmate who can quintessentially, for sure, eyewitnessy say there are cougars in this area because she saw one take her cat in her driveway. So whatever the government says, there are creatures. And one time, also when I first moved here and I first got my first cat, Willie, he was like a big Siberian forest cat, I suspect, but from the shelter. So we don't know for sure. But yet he was hypoallergenic, and my husband wasn't allergic to him, and he usually is allergic to cats. And he was also declawed by his previous owners and neglected. His fur was so matted that I had to take him to a groomer to shave him. And all the years that I owned him before he passed on, I brushed him once in a blue moon, and he never matted. So he was about 2 years old and had been surrendered twice to the shelter. They said that he didn't get along with other animals. Well, that's just bullshit. He was a tiny bit jealous, but he was a socialite cat. He was not afraid of people. He would come out when there was parties and hang around. If I ever had workmen over, he'd be hanging around wanting to make buddies. And he also got along with that tiny Tim cat. Him and Strapey not so much, but they're both alphas. So that's the one that would chase the fox away, a big fox. He was a big boy. And so I was up in the driveway, and Willie was down here in this kind of, valley-like area, staring at the forest over here. And I heard something walking that sounded like its footfalls were several feet apart. And it's pretty dense brush up here. Like, I can't go through this part very easily without getting smacked in the face with something. So possibly a deer. Deer do come around this area, but it's quite dense up here. Maybe it was a deer, but I was too frickin' scared to go look. And the cat was just staring, and I'm like, get in here, get in here, get in here. I wouldn't leave the screen porch. But finally I got the courage to just run out and snatch him up and grab him and bring him back in the house, the little bugger. So maybe it was a deer. I don't know. But it was not long after the weird Halloweeny, witchy, otherworldly cougar possible sound that I heard. So I associated it as maybe, I don't think it was, but that was my fantastical imagination. Possibly a large cat, slinking through the underbrush. I don't know. I mean, since I've been here, I've also seen coyotes cross my front property. I saw a fisher cat in my fire pit area. Sadly, it looked like it had been caught in a trap because it was missing part of its bottom leg. But yet it did survive for like a year or so afterwards because I spotted it when it returned. So there are creatures, weird-ass creatures, that live in the forests. And you can hear wolves howling way off in the distance sometimes. So there's weird creatures in here. So I don't know if there's a Bigfoot, but yeah. My point being, wouldn't it be cool if I had a big Bigfoot sculpture here? Too bad I can't learn to sculpt things myself because I do own chainsaws. I just don't believe I have much artistic ability. But yeah, one day I'll go ask how much that costs. Wow, looking at this tree, like this spruce tree here, or whatever it is, and then this cedar, whatever here, these used to be tiny little saplings, or would be junk trees, I guess you could call them. But I didn't remove them, much like that big white pine over there that is shading my rock garden too much, because the sculpture of the windmill that was here was huge, and it had windmill, whatever they're called, fan parts, I don't know what the technical term is, and it did move. So obviously these trees weren't here because it wouldn't have been able to move if it did. Anyway, I gotta burn my garbage and get back inside because these mosquitoes, The dragonflies aren't doing their job. The mosquitoes are getting me. Oh, Froggy. Oh, this one's coming over to say hi. You gonna say bye? Say bye to your frog fans. Bye, buddy. So cute. Some of them are very shy and other ones are very inquisitive. Like this guy. They could be twins. Look at. He hasn't moved. This guy and this guy looking at me. Oh, I gotta hurry up and go see Sally the tree frog. She's waiting for me. Oh my God, look at this kitty. Just popped out on the edge of that rock. Sally's waiting for me to say hi and I'm running out of battery, so. Bye, frogs. I gotta get to work.